Hello, welcome to a tutorial. We're gonna make an assembly pizza builder app that you can substitute. I'm using pizza, but you can substitute any like assembly order form kind of situation that you'd want, or variation on a theme. Like you could do ice cream toppings or build a burger, or if you want to get complicated, you could build some mech robot where you pick the different body parts, or a makeup picker, or what was that other one? Oh, like a flower bouquet. Anything where you have a set of options that you want to be able to toggle on and off and have a little visualizer. And so this is a quick little version that I mocked up, and we'll play it. It don't look great, but look, it's getting, I don't know why this is the default now, but this was just a quick little mock-up to where I could get the functionality right. And I have to shout out to my buddy Brian for helping me crack this, because I was looking for like pizza ordering FIGMA tutorials and whatnot, but it was all just like UI mock-ups and not the UX like component function stuff. And I was talking to Brian and he was like, oh, like a checklist, and that was the function I was looking for. And then just to pair it with an animation where you can visualize the things on your checklist. So yeah, like cool to have a little breakthrough on figuring this thing out. And so I have a pretty easy way for us to get going. I think it does require you building all your assets and having them ready to go. Of course, you see here a nicer version of what I'm going to be cooking with. We have pizza, the crust, sauce, and cheese is all in one layer, but I could have been more complicated and had those options too. But I just have the pepperoni, sausage, olives, onions, and peppers on separate layers as PNGs. I made that in Procreate and then did all the tech stuff just here in Figma. Various layers, nothing's grouped yet. This is not a frame, it's floating just on a square. I just like wait to use the frame for the final thing and just use shapes so there's not confusion. When like things jump in and out of frames and then they're not connected over here in the layers anymore. We'll see as we go. But typically I just do the frame for the last thing. Okay, so we got this ready. And basically it's just 5 components that are then stacked up on top of each other at the final frame. Like I use these squares as backgrounds and stuff, but then you can make them invisible at the end after you have them all stacked up and aligned how you like. And it's just a component with one variant each, on and off. We'll do that here real quick. And it helps so much to have this already built and ready to go, because then you can reduce as you make the different component variants. So I'm gonna hit Command C. Whoop. Oh, let me not do it that way. Let me select all. We'll alt click. Bring this guy over here. So that'll be like a nice visual aid over here for us of the final product. We'll get our 5. And we'll use this to build our final frame too, since it has all of our font and type stuff that we also want to make some pages for. Okay. So let's make each one just the topping and options. Right, so if we can get rid of that and that. Let's whittle it down. We have this one over here in case we run into any troubles. need some of these assets back for whatever reason. All right, I'm just reducing this stuff first. We don't need choose your toppings. Okay. And we don't need the pizza. And it could be being more organized. That's going to come in handy with all this selection stuff here in a second, because, you know, I have that prototype up at the top and my layers are just like a mess right now. But, you know, do as I say, not as I do. Be more organized with that over there. We'll get organized for the final thing. All right, so pepperonis first. Well, we can just do that. Shift select. You see there's a layer order to the chunks. So we'll deal with that. Let's see. We'll see how it goes. All right. So we want sausage now. Let's see if we can. Okay, we're good. Now it's going to get tricky. Onions, peppers. We need olives. So let's see if we can do, which sausage is it? That one. And that one. Alrighty, we're getting there. And you see these are the end state with it activated. It's just easier to have that because when we make the variant, we'll just work backwards on this. Okay, green peppers, sausage. Okay, when it hovers, we can be sure what we're grabbing. Onions. Okay. Peppers. We want those peppers. Okay. All right, we have our pieces all lined up there. Don't touch it. Don't mess it up. Don't mess with it. Anyway. All right, so we need to do a component. Create component. Let's name this pepperoni comp. And we'll add, where's the variant? Oh yeah, add variant. Alrighty, let's go over here. Make this guy, create component. Make a variant. I want to do this first because I want all the bounce animation to be the same. So I kind of want to move them up to the same spot. We'll see how it goes. Add variant. Create component. And naming stuff helps, folks. Name and group your layers. Got olives. Create component. Add variant. Those are supposed to be green bell peppers, but that would have been too big for the checklist, and I would have had to change the font size. Add variant. Okay. We're there. And I will have to go now to all 10 of these and make that background square invisible once I get them all lined up, but that's okay. You know, you could make them a component that's an on and off switch. You could toggle the background on and off, but we're keeping it simple and we have to take a few extra steps to do so. Okay. Let's make a frame. Actually, we can do it this way. We'll bring this guy over here. Frame selection, frame 1. Okay. Let's see how this goes. All right, let's mess with the animations first. We have our frame over here, and I'll delete that in a second. Stuff we don't need. Okay. So in here, we'll work backwards and make this nothing selected. So our X, vector X, and our comp there, make that 0. Or wait. Escape. There's a general opacity in here. Maybe do it. Okay. It works. That's fine. So we make all of our X's invisible. You know, your checklist can be different things. I used X's. You can have check marks. You can have little glyphs or something in there. Whatever you want your toggle switch to be, you know, we'll just prototype it to that shape. All right, so we have off. And now I'm going to do shift and the up arrows to map it out, to make it the same distance for everybody. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm moving that back. Moving it out of the frame is so tricky. Let's see here. Clip content. All right, we're still in the comp. You know, just be careful. See how it pops out of the comp there? That's not what I want. We want to move it outside of the comp just so it's not visible. And that's also another purpose of doing the component with the full shape behind it, because it makes the frame the proper size. So you know how far it needs to travel to get outside of your final frame. Let's just put... It's not like they're all centered. I guess they can all be whatever, about there. Okay. So now, you know, when you click it, it'll animate and slide down, and we'll see what our options are for that animation. See if we can have like some bounce. I know we can ease things in and out. We'll see if Figma has some fun options. We got 15 minutes about. Whoop, see, it slid out there. Clip content. I guess you could put it back in the comp over there in the layers. You know, then you're having to like, I don't know, toggle your mouse when you're trying to do keyboard shortcuts. I'm turning off the clip content on the component. Okay. All right. See how that works? We'll toggle this box, change to this state. That'll animate in. Then we toggle that box to go back to the default. Let's do that real quick. Let's put our functionality in here. It can be, yeah, the rectangle itself. And it should be, we'll see if that's going to be persnickety about no fill and whether or not that activates. But that should be fine. Our thumbs are big enough, it'll touch the edges. Excuse me, prototype. Interaction. On click. Change to variant to, what do we got here? Smart animate. Bouncy. I think I'm gonna like that. I think bouncy is gonna be cool. Okay. And that's it. I guess you could do it to the text as well. Just to, you know, say, cover your bases, just for more places for someone to click. Go to variant 2, smart animate, bouncy. We can change adjust timing if we want. Then how do we want it to leave? Rectangle, on click, change to default, smart. What do we want to do here? So that's the endpoint. That won't. That's fine. Gentle, I guess. Ease out. Gentle. Let's just go with that. Okay. And then pepperoni. Alrighty, and now it's time to just do some data entry. Or we just prototype for a second. Change to. Do the hollows. Rectangle is what's selected. We might have to do the X, we might not. We'll see how it acts. Bouncy. It's going to make the X bouncy as well when it fades in. Will it? We'll see. We'll see if that looks weird. Okay. We're all prototyped in that department. Okay. Let's get over here to our pizza builder frame. And we don't need any of the toppings on the pizza. Okay. We kind of don't need this stuff. We could leave it on there for alignment purposes. I think we'll be fine. Okay. So now we just layer our instances of these components over here. Let's do pepperoni. And that should be like, you know, lined up perfectly because things should be snapping and stuff. Okay. We can go over here to this guy. Over in design. You can leave it all active and just make its fill 0. Go to this one. Double click, make sure you're on the square, make that fill 0. I bumped the mic, sorry. Okay. See there? Alright, what's next? Sausage. Bring in an instance from our assets library. It doesn't look lined up how we wanted it up here, but that's because I moved them different distances. So that should still be okay because the end product should be aligned But you can have yours overlap if you want, whatever assembly thing you decide to pick. If it's all like how you want it to look as the end product. And if they have just certain elements, I tried to have enough toppings where even if they picked one or two, it'd still look like a fully topped pizza, not sparse or something. All right, so let's go in here. Fill of 0. Fill of 0. Uh-oh. Olives. Okay. Onions. I'm relying totally on the snapping accuracy there. So I don't have to do any crazy fine-tuning alignment. I've tried to prep it to work, ideally. Peppers. Okay. Okay. And then let's go over to Pizza Builder. So it's got our comps in there, our components for our toppings. We should be able to move it all together. You know, we can make a home page, and we can also make like an order now page over here, and we can use an instance of this guy to populate whatever pizza we've picked, you know, accurately, because it should be the one we built that hops over to our order form. We'll check that out. But for now, let's go in here. Like, this is kind of it, aside from building like a home page and a actual order page. Let's hit play. And let's fit, and let's see. Don't like the bounce. Too much bounce. Why does it snap like that? Y'all see that? Too much bounce, but it works. It functions. Okay. And then, yeah, you can see the bounce on how the X fades in. But maybe y'all's a bounce works. So you see, I could have just sausage, olives, onions, or just peppers and pepperoni, and it's a little sparse looking, but that's fine. Throw some onions on there. We're good. Okay. Yeah, so let me go in here and change. Well, we can leave that for now. I'll do it at the end. All right. Make another frame. 440, 956. Put one here. Put one here. What am I doing? I guess I'm going to pull some assets. Control C. this to be white. I'm just going to make a quick title page. Just going to put that in the middle. That's like just a quick title page. I could have a pizza on there, I guess. And I'd bring it back to red or something. I don't know. I'll leave it simple for now. And then our order now. Will you go in there? Yeah. All right, let's see. So we want an instance of that. And just copying it, create that? No, it needs to be a component to be an instance of that. Right? Yeah. So I'll make this whole thing a component. Pizza builder main. It's all fine as its own component, right? And now I can make an instance. We drop it in here. We crop. Right? I just want the pizza. Okay. Oh, well, I could just hide everything. Does that hide it? Okay. Then we go in each one of these. We just want to hide the text. Rectangle's fine because it's turned off. So we've turned this frame into a component and we made an instance. Right? We've hidden everything except the pizza and the art that'll be activated. And so we can go in here in this rectangle. We prototype our order now button. Hold on. Order page. Home page. Right? We go back here, select our square, on click, navigate to order page. And slide would be cool. Then the pizza would like slide off the frame. What do we have smart animate? Let's just do a dissolve. Yeah. We'll just do that. Go over here to a pizza. Interaction on click. Navigate to Pizza Builder main. This one we can kick over to it, right? He's in and out, sure. All right, so if we go here, all right, let's prototype this guy. Interaction, on click, navigate back to the home page. Smart animate, ease in and out. So we have a way back. Design wise, let me. Ugh. Let me out. Okay. Let me get that. Let's go over here. I'm gonna make just like a go back button. What's the number on this? Let's see. So I'm gonna name that back. Hmm. $60. That's fine. Back, on click, navigate to. Cat bumped the microphone, sorry. What are we at? 37? Dissolve. X. Alright, this should be it though. So now we have home page. Right? Let's hit play. Let's go order a pizza. I want pepperoni and olives. And that's all I want. Boom. Uh-oh. The different variants. It's in there. So yeah, I was thinking that we should do a crop button. And then this goes back. Yeah, that's neat. That's an unexpected little, yeah, that was on purpose. But y'all see what happens there is since you made an instance out of this component, it's live. But we don't want that. All right, let's see how we can just crop our component instead of hiding everything. So I'm gonna wake all that back up. And I kind of like the rectangle behind it, like the gray, and I kind of just want to crop. So let's make a square and see if we can just do a Little clipping mask. With that guy. And that guy. Will it let us use his mask? Okay. That's what we want. We just need to put... Wait, why'd the pizza go away? Oh, duh, because the mask doesn't need to have a color. It's like on top. Yeah, okay. Now it will work? No. I don't understand. Oh, it's going the other way. Right? So I need to do it the other way? Where this goes there? Yeah, there we go. That's what we want. And I just like the gray, I think. You know, we could turn it off or on, or I pick a different kind of red background. It's just without the gray, the line art from the pizza is weird against the red background. But maybe it's fine. All right, well, that's it. That's kind of all. That's the full thing. You want to stick around for a second? I can pick a different bounce if you want, but that's the function of it. Variant, bouncy. Let's just do gentle. But just know I wanted some sort of bounce. Okay, that's it. I think so. And go from there. And for some reason, that's not the default. Let's build a pizza. I just want pepperoni and onion. We go to order now, and it's there. And you can, you know, add some order art here, you know, like buy now, or we can just put a $ sign or money symbol there. We hit back. If we actually, I actually want sausage. What was that? It still has a little bit of bounce. I guess that's fine. Does everything have like... Okay. It's the amount of bounce I want, but just not slow. Whatever. We can go back to app pizza. Does it reset? Oh, it stays the same. We can change that. Okay. So you change that. We go find that rectangle that we coded. State. Reset scroll position. Be resetting the component. Reset component state. That's what we want. So when we go back, it resets it for us. So then if like someone's figuring out how to test your stuff and they figure that out, they know how to just reset their pizza. Pizza, pepperoni, olives, peppers. Well, let's go back to the home page. Now let's start fresh. Boom, boom, boom. And we can order now. Click on the money, ka-ching, whatever your Apple Pay button is right there. And yeah. So that's it, folks. Let me know if you have any questions. That's creating an assembly app prototype in Figma. Well, maybe we can end it there on that screen. That's what we got. All right, y'all. Thanks. Oops, sorry. I noticed these buttons were still active even though they were invisible on that last component. So luckily the way this is shaped out, you might have to adjust your frame in a different way. I was able to just hide it, then activate clip content, and then those buttons aren't functional on our final like order form page there. So even if we have that, we can't accidentally keep clicking on buttons. Okay. Sorry. Thanks for watching.